What's up, guys? Jeff here with Elite Closing Academy, also known as Strong Draw Sales. I'm here with Tanner, one of my students who just got like some amazing wins recently. So I just wanted to invite him on to share what those were and what it was actually like working with me. So I guess I'll just turn it over to you, Tanner. First off, why did you decide to start working with me in the first place?
I found you through Twitter and was very excited about what I was seeing there. And what really took it over the top was I saw another video of a gentleman you helped, do the same thing that you helped me do, get into a role that they loved, start making more money and giving them back more freedom. So really seeing that and seeing a few other examples of the success you showed with sales, and after speaking with you, your own success, I was excited to get started.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you joined the program and you came through it, and your goal, if I recall coming in, you were making already 120K per year and you wanted to figure out how to make 200 plus. Is that right?
Spot on. I was
Cool.
doing well in that role, but I wasn't fulfilled personally.
Cool. Okay. And so when we came in, that was kind of the main focus, was how can we build up Tanner so that way he's at a point where he can easily make essentially twice as much money. And so what would you say was like the biggest or the most impactful thing that like either we learned or we went over that allowed you to leave your previous job and then find a new and a better one?
It was it This was a surprise for me in a very positive way. I came into the coaching expecting most of the ideas, processes, and tactics around sales specifically to be the most important piece. And within working with you, within 2 to 3 weeks, I realized the most important pieces that I was picking up from you and learning were more on the side of confidence and how to use language more clearly with myself and with others, and creating tactics, like creating morning routine that has led to success, and being more actionable on reading and implementing things I've been learning rather than almost consuming them for entertainment purposes. And I think that's been the most important piece. And that's spread within not only my career, but personal life, relationships with friends, approaching other people out in the world, and being able to confidently generate conversation and see what opportunities come out of that.
Wow, that's super interesting. So it was more the internal work than the specific stuff on sales that allowed you to get to where you are and was beneficial.
100%.
Cool. Yeah, I believe that the biggest changes that we make in our sales career are internal shifts, right? They're all internal. And so now, like, if you were to give yourself a level out of 100, like what level Tanner was at when he joined Elite Closing Academy, when he started working with me, versus where he's at now, like where would you say that, what level were you at in sales and just overall life when you joined? And then what level would you say that you're at now?
Honestly, had you asked me that when we started working together, I would have confidently told you 80. And looking back on the growth I've had in working with you, I'd put myself at a 90 now. And where I started was probably more like a 55, 60. Realizing where I wasn't that strong during the process and making those improvements. And there's always improvements to be made. I won't give myself 100. That's why I put myself at a 90. But it was the coaching that gave that transparency and a real inward look at where I was at, which was kind of brutally honest, but in a very productive and positive way.
I love it. Yeah. And I appreciate that after every call that we had, you took action on the action steps. You mentioned earlier that we shifted from consuming to actually taking action. Like, this is the most important part, right? Is you can consume all the information in the world, but if you don't actually take action on it, it means nothing. So what would you say like actually allowed you to take more action with working with me versus what you were doing before?
It was a lot of the tactics that we covered that shifted my belief in how I should act on those items. For example, the say do ratio. It I shouldn't say forced, but I started to believe more strongly that I need to do everything that I say. And so in working with you, and we would, end those calls with here's some nice action steps to go work on, knowing if I want to get to where I want to get to, improve myself, improve my career, and get to that level of freedom I'm seeking, I need to improve that say do ratio, go and perform those action steps, knowing they're building the skills within myself that will allow me to get to that position of freedom, financial freedom and time freedom.
I love that. Yeah, the say do ratio is the thing. Like once you implement
Mm.
this and understand how to, and have somebody to guide you along the way and give you the right actions to do, it's very easy to, actually get to where you want to be. Cool. So you landed a new role. How soon after you started working with me were you able to find a new role and, one that has like massive earning potential?
It was about 4 to 5 weeks of working with you. And I'll be very honest, when we started, I knew I wanted to be in a new role, but I wasn't taking a lot of those actionable steps to get there. And within 4 weeks working with you through, again, more of the sales tactics, but more on that interpersonal side, gave me the confidence to go out and seek that role, leaving the comfort of that six-figure job I had where I wasn't fulfilled. But it was breaking that almost a nervousness, or maybe even a little bit scared to leave that comfort, but having the confidence to go out, seek that role. And once I found one that I really liked, I worked with you on, how do I better negotiate this offer? What are the things I'm looking for? What are things I should request during that process? And that was successful as well. We got the offer to be a little bit stronger. And now, I'm in that offer right now. I'm in my home working and closing from home, and have found that freedom I'm looking for on top of making more money only 3 weeks in.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. And so you mentioned to me privately, like the earning potential of the last sales rep, like when we started working together, you said you wanted to leave your 120K per year job and find a 200K per year job. What is the earning potential, or like, what does it look like for this new offer?
I'm targeting 250K year one as a minimum, based on what I'm seeing, what this previous sales rep was doing, and the improvements I've been able to make to this process and other processes that I've built into it. So really, 250K year one should blossom into 400K within the next couple of years.
Wow. That's incredible. And what has you mentioned something about negotiating better for like your sign-on deal with the company. Like you got some kind of a sign-on bonus. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, bonus just to get started, which was fantastic. And also negotiated better commission rates within the first couple months, and a higher commission rate on my ongoing commissions.
Wow, that's amazing. Cool. Well, what would you say to somebody who was previously in your shoes, right? Either making over 100K per year in a job that they don't like, or in sales and not making as much money as they would like. Like, what would you tell them about what it's like working with me, and just in general, what advice would you have for them?
I'd say working with you has been the best decision I've made in my professional career. You know, I mentioned it earlier, I felt secure in that role, but I wasn't fulfilled. And I'd tell others, don't be afraid to leave that security, because what you'll find is personal growth. Not only will leaving that security drive you to want to be better, maybe from a standpoint of, hey, I have to go out and make this much money to continue living within the means I have. But what you'll find is that growth personally will spill over into what you're doing in your career, and you'll become stronger at what you're doing. And I think you'll feel more fulfilled, not only leaving something that isn't as fulfilling, but you'll feel better about yourself making that leap, seeing kind of the potential that you'll have. And you really only see growth once you leave your comfort zone. That's one thing I would, keep in mind is you'll be surprised at what you can do when you leave that arena and pursue what you really want to go after.
I love that. So you've already gotten, you were looking for a 200K new opportunity, and you're already easily at a quarter million per year, 250K with room to grow beyond that. So I'm curious, what else, like we achieved everything on the professional, on the sales side of things, but how do you feel your growth has been, you just internally or personally after working with me?
It's been fantastic. We mentioned the say-do ratio earlier, not only with others, but with myself, getting up early to go hit the gym. We covered tactics around affirmations in the morning, journaling, things I wasn't doing before that have helped tremendously. It's also helped my relationship with my wife, with my parents, with my friends, and the interpersonal growth, I mentioned it earlier, was the most impactful, and it's led to the growth, in my career as well. So it's been fantastic just seeing that and being a part of that again with everyone in my life on top of who I work with, on the day to day.
I love that. I love that all around. Yeah. Beautiful. So somebody else, Isaiah, who is in my program, has lost 15 pounds since he's been working with me. And I'm not a fat loss coach, right? But it was just like the advice that I gave him, the internal things. He lost weight because I just told him these are the things you need to do and you need to take action on. So I thought that was just like so funny that, yeah, like, yes, I'm teaching you sales and using sales as a vehicle, but ultimately what you're learning is how to upgrade yourself, your earning potential, your network, all the things. So do you have
100%.
any other, I guess, like parting comments, parting pieces of advice, or anything else that that you want to say to anybody who might be watching now?
I'd say I just highly recommend working with Jeff. If you want to create the change that you're seeking in life, I think a lot of people are seeking freedom of time and financial freedom. And Jeff is a fantastic mentor to help you get there.
That's awesome. And so, like, if somebody's right on the edge and they're like, I don't know if I should do it or not, or oh, it sounds super expensive, like, what would you tell them as far as like, how they should think about possibly making this decision?
There's no better investment than one in yourself. You can put money into an index fund and it can grow 6% or whatever it is. But if you invest in yourself, you can go and make, I'm going to make another $130,000 year one because of an investment with Jeff in the interpersonal growth that I've had. Again, that's spilled over to my career. So there's no better investment than one in yourself. And it's worked out very well for me and others in the group. I'd say go for it if you're ready to find that change that you're seeking.
That's amazing. Well, Tanner, thanks so much for doing this. If you guys are watching this video and you're curious and you're wanting to know more, you can just go to my website, jefflundeen.com, or you can find me on Twitter or even DM me on YouTube at Strong Jaw Sales. I'm on Instagram as well. I have a TikTok now as well. I have all the places, but best place is going to be my website or Twitter. Send me a message or just book a call and we'll see if I can actually help you.